Hey there, ever wonder what the single most important tool is for talking about your daily life in English? Your habits, the things that are always true? Well, today we're going to unlock that key. It's the secret to describing the world around you, and we're diving right in. So let me ask you this. How would you talk about your morning routine? What you do every single weekend. These are the real building blocks of any good conversation, right? And the answer in English is, well, surprisingly simple. The answer is the present simple tense. Yeah, I know, it might sound like just some basic grammar, but trust me, it's your golden ticket to describing your world with real confidence. So first things first, let's figure out exactly when you're supposed to use this thing. Okay, I want you to think of this tense as your everyday superpower. Seriously, it's not just for talking about what's happening right now. It's for the always, the usually, the sometimes. So let's break down its main jobs. It really all boils down to these three main situations. Basically, you use it for things that are consistent, right? We're talking about your personal routines and habits, things that are always true about the world, and schedules that are set in stone. Let's check out a quick example for each one. First up, a habit. I drink coffee every morning. A classic. The structure is super clean, super direct, and it just tells you this is something that happens again and again. It's a regular part of life. Now, what about a fact? The sun rises in the east. I mean, there's no arguing with that, right? It's a universal truth. It happened yesterday, it's happening today, and it's gonna happen tomorrow. For facts like this, you always use the present simple. Okay, now this one is where it gets really interesting. We're talking about a future event, right? The train hasn't left yet, but we're using the present tense. So why? It's because it's a fixed schedule. For any kind of timetable, trains, planes, your class schedule, the present simple is your go-to. All right, so we've got the when down. Now let's tackle the how. And the good news is, the basic formula for a positive sentence is about as simple and clean as it gets. Yep, that's pretty much the core of it. You just take your subject, that's the person or thing doing the action, and you add the verb. Simple. I work. You listen. We learn. It couldn't be any easier. Well, almost. And here it is. This is the one little detail that can trip people up, but once you nail this, you're going to sound so much more natural. It all comes down to who you're talking about. Okay, here's the one big rule you got to remember. For he, she, and it, that's what we call the third person singular, you have to add an S to the verb. Just look at the difference here. I work becomes he works. You play becomes she plays. See that? That one little letter. It makes all the difference. Okay, so positive sentences are down, but what if you want to make a sentence negative or ask a question? Well, you can't just throw in the word not. We need to call in a little help. And here they are. Meet your new best friends, the helper verbs do and does. I love calling them the magic keys because they literally unlock negative sentences and questions for us. And you guessed it, just like before, does is that special version we use for he, she, and it. Let's see how this works. It's super easy. You start with a positive sentence, like, they like pizza. To make it negative, you just slide in do not right before the verb. So you get, they do not like pizza. And of course, in everyday conversation, we just squish that together to get, they don't like pizza. Simple as that. Asking a question is just as easy. You start with your statement, she works here. Then you take that helper verb and pop it right at the beginning. But, and this is a big but, so listen up, look what happens to the main verb. Because we added does, the S on works disappears. It goes back to its original form, work. So the question is, does she work here? Not works. All right, enough of me talking. You've seen the rules, you've seen the examples. Now it's your turn. Let's do a little practice and see how you do. Okay, here's the first one. We, and then the verb is live, in the city. So what's the right form here? I'll give you a second. And the answer is live. We live in the city. You got it. Because the subject is we, the verb just stays the same. Perfect. Okay, let's try another one. He, and the verb is watch, movies on weekends. Now, be careful with this one. Remember that special rule we talked about. Yes, the answer is watches. He watches movies on weekends. Because the subject is he, we got to add that ES at the end. Fantastic job. All right, last one for practice. Let's take the sentence, you like tea. how do we turn that into a question? Think back to that magic key we mentioned. And there it is. Do you like tea? You just pop that helper verb do right at the front, and boom, you've got a perfect question. See? You're totally getting the hang of this. So there you have it. The present simple tense. It's not just grammar, it's the absolute foundation for talking about who you are, what you do every day, and how you see the world. You officially have the key to everyday English. So the only question left is, what are you going to say first?